Hi everyone, I'm Nathan with the ebookreader.com. For this video, I'm going to give you guys a comparison review of the Kindle Fire HD versus the Google Nexus 7. So I just posted this article on my blog here and I wanted to put together this video because I can't really describe all the differences between them. It's a lot easier just to sort of show how the two interfaces are different and how different functions work with them. So let's go ahead and talk about the hardware first. As you can tell, obviously the Kindle Fire is bigger than the Google Nexus 7. It's about 3/4 of an inch wider. The Nexus 7 is just a hair taller, maybe like 1/8 of an inch. So they have the same size screen. It's the 1280 by 800 pixel resolution screen, and both screens are very comparable as far as screen contrast and colors. The Kindle Fire does have the slight advantage with the screen. Colors are a little bit better, has a little better calibration. There's a link to this report in that review that details like everything about these two screens. It's really interesting to read over that. The Kindle does have the slight advantage in the screen. It's not much. Mostly the Nexus 7 just needs to be calibrated better. The screen's not calibrated right. It could be updated with a firmware update that they say that could probably fix a lot of that, but that remains to be seen. So as far as the hardware goes, the Nexus 7 has a quad-core processor and the Kindle Fire has a dual-core processor. You're not going to really notice a whole lot of difference with speed. I mean, just the interfaces are different, so it's just sort of a different setup with the home screen carousel on the Kindle. When you launch like an app or something, it does take longer sometimes on the Kindle than it does when you're doing it on here, but I mean, for the most part, the speed difference isn't a big deal. Speaking of speed difference, let's just go ahead and open up the web browser and open a couple of test pages to see which one loads faster. So let's go to one I haven't loaded before. So for the most part, I mean, the loading, it's very similar. I mean, let's go ahead and load this page at the same time. So the Nexus 7, it's getting there a little bit faster. The Kindle has the dual antenna Wi-Fi, so it does have better Wi-Fi signal. But as you can see when it comes down to usage, I mean, they're both pretty comparable as far as web page load times. It sort of just goes back and forth. Usually the Nexus 7 is a hair faster with this Chrome web browser than the Kindle Silk, and I do have acceleration turned on with the Silk, but it just sort of depends. One thing I really like about the Silk web browser is reading view. It actually reformats the page, gets rid of everything except for just the text, and then you can go in and adjust the text size too if you want. We've got the different options down here, and you've got the different backgrounds as well. So I do like that reading view a lot with the web browser. It's a really cool feature. So the Chrome web browser doesn't really have anything like that. Okay, so let's move on to the interface. This is where the two devices differ by far the most. So the Nexus 7, it runs Android 4.1 Jelly Bean, and it's totally open. You can you've got all of this access to Google's apps, all come on here. Obviously it's Google's tablet, and you've got the Google Play Store. So, and then with this type of setup, you've got the alternate home screen. You can add different apps to your home screen. You can organize pretty much anything you want. You can change the background image. So we've got live wallpapers as well, ones that move. So there's all kinds of customization you can do with the home screen on the Nexus 7. Like all these widgets, you can actually get rid of these widgets. Add different widgets, like I've got the weather widget right here. So there's a whole bunch of different things you can do. You got the different folders you can create. So as far as the Kindle's home screen, what you see is what you get. This is it. You really have no options for customization other than the favorites menu down here where you can pin specific apps as far as to this menu right here, and you can jump back and forth. You can move these around if you would like to set them up in a different way. But as far as the home screen goes, I mean, this is what you get. You got the carousel. It's just sort of like a recent apps list. It just lists everything from the last one that you had open, and sort of like the web browser shows the last page here. And you can remove the items from the carousel. As you can see, like this app, it's a side-loaded app. It doesn't come with the Kindle, and it's not optimized for this big of a screen like this, so it's all pixelated. It doesn't look good. So that's what happens when you side-load apps. They're all pixelated. They don't look the same as opposed to the ones you get from Amazon. They're real crisp and clear, and you get the recommendations down here. And so then the Amazon setup, everything's set up with sub-menus. Everything up here, you've got your photo section, your audiobook section, so everything's housed in sub-menus as far as that goes. With the Nexus 7, you just got your standard home screens, and you've got the app drawer right here. So whereas the Kindle, everything has got the sections for books and music. So it's all segregated into subsections. Another cool feature Nexus 7 has is Google Now. You swipe up from the bottom, and we've got this Google Now thing here. It'll tell you different cards will pop up. So like if you're out of the house and you connect to the internet, it'll tell you automatically, just out of the blue, exactly how long it'll take you to get to your house with traffic. It does stuff like that. It gives you like sports updates for like your sports teams. There's all these different kinds of cards that show up. And if you say Google, the ebook reader. So it's got voice search. You can just say Google and then it'll do the voice search right from there. It's also got some other nifty features as far as that goes. But as far as the customization, I mean, the Nexus 7 definitely has a huge advantage. As you can see here with the Kindle, you just, like I said, you've got this. One detail with the Kindle is you can sideload alternate launchers. So I wrote about this earlier on a different blog post. You can install, what was it, ADW Launcher X. It's a paid app, unfortunately, so it's not easy to get. And then you can get an alternate home screen. I also discovered that this app works, except for it has this annoying greeting screen that you always have to apply a wallpaper or a theme just to get to the alternate launcher. So alternate launchers used to work better on the regular Kindle Fire, but now that we've got the Kindle Fire HD, they kind of closed them off. But a couple of them do work, like this 360 launcher, like I said, except it always takes you that welcome screen. A better one is the ADW Launcher X, and then you can go in and have more of a traditional home screen, sort of like the Nexus 7 has there. You can go in and add widgets as well, but this one, it's actually a Chinese launcher, so it doesn't have like the same good setup as you're going to get with the Nexus 7. If you want a real home screen, like, I mean, the Nexus 7 is the one to go with, because you can put in this alternate launcher on the Kindle, but it's still not going to be the same sort of deal, because the home button always goes to this. It's just sort of a little bit more inconvenient as far as that goes. Another thing about the Nexus 7, speaking of inconvenient, it doesn't normally have landscape mode on the home screen, so that's kind of one limiting factor. You have to do portrait on the home screen normally. I installed this app. It's called rotation, what is it? I don't know, rotation control, and you can install this, and then you can get, it costs $3 though, and then you can get landscape mode on the home screen of the Nexus 7, so that's kind of one of the annoying things that Google didn't include for some reason. So both of them have cameras. The Nexus 7's camera's right here and the Kindle's camera's right here. Neither of them have a specific camera app. For the Nexus 7 you can download one from the Google Play Store, and then you can open the camera with it. And with the Kindle you can like use the ES File Explorer to open up the camera just by hitting App Manager and then listing the system apps, and then you can hit the camera icon. So the camera quality's basically the same between the two. There's no real advantage there. So aside from the customizable home screen and widgets and folders, the main advantage for the Nexus 7 is the Google Play App Store comes on board. So you've got like 600,000 apps to choose from. Amazon's App Store, definitely, it's nothing to be ashamed of. It's a nice app store. They just don't have anywhere near that many apps. They have something like 52,000 apps right now. The Google Play, they got like 600,000. So obviously that's the main advantage with the Nexus 7 is you've got a lot more apps readily available than you do the Kindle Fire. Here's another option with the Nexus 7. You can install different keyboards. One weird thing about the Kindle is that they force you to use this keyboard. You can't install any other alternate keyboard even though they sell them in the Amazon App Store. I cannot fathom why they would force us to use this really basic keyboard when you could use something really cool like SwiftKey. But so that's definitely an advantage with the Nexus 7 as well. So the Kindle, main advantage here, we get a free paid app every day. You can come in here and get a free paid app. Usually it's a game. You can obviously load in the Amazon App Store on the Nexus 7 as well to get that same app. So basically you can have the same features on here as your Nexus 7 as your Kindle, as far as you can load in the Amazon Kindle reading app so that you've got your Kindle ebooks. The features with the Kindle reading app aren't as good as they are with the app on the Kindle Fire. So if you primarily read Kindle books, you're probably going to just be better off getting a Kindle device, because the Kindle app for Android, it doesn't have quite the same features. So like with the Kindle Fire app, for instance, we've got more options. We've got different font choices, and we've got text to speech. So with the Android app, we don't have those options. We've got different text sizes, and you can adjust the margins and line spacing and whatnot and the brightness. But as you can see, there's no options for text to speech, and there's no different fonts, and so you've got more advanced options when you go with the Kindle Fire's reading app. And obviously you've got X-ray, so we've got some different features in there as well. So it does have more features as far as the Kindle reading app goes. Obviously, when you got the Nexus 7, you can install any e-reading app you want on there because they're all available in the Play Store. The Kindle Fire, they hide all their apps from the Amazon App Store, the ebook app, so you have to sideload the apps. Sideloading is not a problem, so like I've got Aldico on here, you can install their apps that way, so it's not an issue really. It just comes down to how convenient you want it to be. It's a lot more convenient loading apps here because you just go to the Play Store, where you got to find them like online with the Kindle and then sideload them that way for like Overdrive Media Console and Aldico, you know, pretty much any e-reading app you can have to sideload on the Kindle. As far as video playback goes, you're going to have the same sort of selection. You've got Netflix on the Kindle Fire, you've got Netflix on the you know, Google Nexus 7. You've also got the Play movies and stuff on the Nexus 7. Obviously Amazon, they have their own integrated store for movies, so they've got their own video section here. One advantage with the Amazon, the Kindle Fire, you've got the streaming videos if you have Amazon Prime, the instant videos, I mean. So you can stream those videos. It's sort of like Netflix, basically, the same kind of selection, really. So it's not that big of an advantage, but you can also go in and obviously buy different movies, rent movies and stuff like that. Amazon's prices I usually find are a little bit better as far as digital content for ebooks and movies, but and I also find that their selection is a little bit better than Google's too. So I don't know, it just sort of depends exactly what you're looking for. Another advantage, Google, we've got the recent apps list here, so we can just easily jump back and forth between apps. Really like that. It's a nice feature just to be able to jump back and forth. The Kindle Fire doesn't really have that unless you add whatever you were using previously to the recent or to your favorites list, and then you can jump back and forth that way. See how much longer it takes to transition. So that's something with the Kindle Fire you will notice is especially when loading the web browser, certain things it will take it longer to load when you're transitioning from apps. So that's definitely one thing to keep in mind. So I imagine some of you folks are wondering how the speed of the Kindle Fire and the graphics compare with the Nexus 7, since the Nexus 7 has a much faster, better processor with the Tegra 3 quad-core processor instead of the dual-core processor on the Kindle Fire. I gotta say, I don't really notice any kind of issue with the Kindle Fire. I mean, I don't really have any super high-end games, but this is a pretty high-end game. It's a Dead Space, and it plays as smooth as can be. I mean, everything just loads very smoothly, everything scrolls very smoothly, so as far as this game goes, I mean, it's very, very nice. I think that all pretty much just depends on what games you load in. There's not as many high-end games available in the Amazon App Store as there is in the Google Play Store, so there's definitely some more options for Google Play. So the Nexus 7 obviously plays high-end games very well too. I think it just sort of depends on the specific title, how well it's going to play, because this game, it does lag from time to time, even on the Nexus 7's high-end you know, processor. So I think it just sort of depends on the game itself, because I don't really have any lag at all with Dead Space on the Kindle Fire, and it also looks great with this screen, so I think it just sort of depends. Okay, so one of the other advantages the Kindle has is the volume of the speakers. It has 2 speakers on the back. The Nexus 7 has 1 speaker, so both are at full volume right now. So you can see the Kindle Fire totally drowns out the Nexus 7 as far as the sound goes. So one of the other hardware advantages with the Nexus 7 is it has GPS, and it even works offline, so if you're not connected to the internet, you can still get GPS location. The Kindle Fire doesn't have GPS. Obviously you can use Wi-Fi when you're connected to that to get a general location. It's not sort of the same exact thing, but that's another advantage with the Nexus 7 is GPS. The Kindle has the advantage with the HDMI port, so you can connect to a TV. I've been watching Netflix connected. It looks great. As far as the Nexus 7, you don't have any options for connecting TV, but you do have USB host support. So one advantage the Nexus 7 has is you can connect external keyboards, you can connect a mouse, stuff like that. You can also even connect external like memory card or hard drive using a stick mount or the Nexus 7 Media Importer app. It's located in the App Store and it costs $2.99. So as far as the Nexus 7 goes, it just has a little more advanced features. The Kindle Fire, obviously, it's all integrated into Amazon as far as their content selection goes. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this review for now. Check out thebookreader.com. I have this list right here, some additional information as far as the advantages for each tablet and the specs. So it just sort of comes down to which platform you want to go with, Amazon or Google. There's different variations involved as far as specs, but the Kindle has the HDMI port with a Nexus 7 has the USB host, so I mean each has advantages and each has features the other does not. Just basically comes down to what exactly you're looking for. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the review, and thank you for watching.